Thanks to the support as a channel member, Felix Bjorkman. Here we go then, folks. It is Champions League quarter-final o'clock, and meanwhile, in another match over there somewhere, Tottenham are facing Preston, and we're keeping a very close eye on that one as we try and set up our dream final. Probably shouldn't think too far ahead, though, because we do have to get past Bayern Munich first. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 14 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have both legs of our Champions League quarter-final against Bayern Munich. Since you were last with me, only a couple of games have been played. One game has been played, in fact, since that last 16 round win against Arsenal. We beat Middlesbrough 2-1. The Premier League table is looking like this: 13 points clear. We have all but won the league. It might even happen in this episode. I don't know if we can win the league if we beat Newcastle, but maybe we can. Who knows? Anything can happen. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich, as you would expect, top of Bundesliga. This is going to be a pretty tough test for us, although earlier this season we did, of course, play Bayern Munich and thump them 5-1 at home in the group stage of this very competition. So fingers crossed we can do something similar to that. Again, we've got to go to their place first of all, though, and we are sometimes a little bit susceptible away from home. So we just need to keep it tight in this first leg and then hopefully thump them in the return fixture. It's Blanco in goal, a back four of Pereira, Corgi, Antunes and Malik. Jaeger at the base of the midfield, Jalili and Ramon ahead of him, Elliott on the left, Borge on the right, Aspas up front. Let's get this team submitted and hopefully, like I say, keep things fairly tight in this first leg. We've said it before and we'll say it again. We can't win it in this first leg, but we could go a long way towards losing it if things don't go our way. So let's just not do anything drastic. Like I keep saying, keep it nice and tight. Marin, is that the Marin we had at left back when I was at Preston? The attacking midfielder who came in to play at left back. I suspect it probably is. We're at the business end of the Champions League. Now, I don't want to click on his name to check because I know that if we do that, he'll score, especially because he can also play as an attacking midfielder if it's the guy that I'm thinking of. We signed him at the same time as Rojas, and neither of them were left backs. Borge trying to break clear here. Aspas has got the ball, but four Bayern Munich players ahead of him. They're certainly defending resolutely at the moment. Aspas has got in behind, plays it into Borge, and that was a big chance and a big miss for us to grab an away goal in the first highlight of the match. That would have been perfect. 'Twas not to be, though, and it remains 0-0. I'd be completely fine, completely happy if this match ends 0-0, gives us something to work with in that second leg then. Jalili to Borge, ball over the top, Aspas on the shoulder of the last defender. He may have been a smidgen offside. It doesn't matter anyway because the shot is a pretty tame one into the hands of the Bayern goalkeeper, and it remains 0-0. We've had the better of these opening chances, though, not been able to get a proper shot away just yet, though, despite getting in a couple of decent positions. Now Bayern coming down our left-hand side. It's a good cross there in, and Blanco makes a good save. And we're both kind of teasing and testing each other out early on. Both teams having some decent chances. And it's Bayern now with the corner, the in-swinger, and Blanco just plucks it out of the sky. Nice and comfortable. He can handle them all day long. Malik now with the throw to Jalili. Two of the new boys for this season. Jaeger now back to Antunes, and then Jaeger across to Corgi this time. And now he finds Peralta on that left-hand side and Elliott. A rare start for Harvey Elliott, but we are still suffering from the injury to Kone, and that was a huge chance. Aspas just couldn't get enough wallop on his header, and it's cleared off the line by the Bayern defender, but that was a close one, the closest either team has come so far. That is, it's pretty close to being over that line. Aspas was up there with the keeper, did get there first, but he was so far away from goal, he just couldn't get enough on it. And now, as we approach half-time, seconds to go before half-time, it's Bayern with the free kick. They find Musiala on the edge of the area, who is still considered one of the best players in the world. We don't really want him having a shot. We don't want this guy shooting either. And of course, we're in March and someone's just got their first goal of the season. Of course, that's what's happened because this is Football Manager. It's Bayern 1, Liverpool 0. And we were so concerned with stopping Musiala have a shot. Just gave it back to the guy who had the original free kick. He goes past Jaeger relatively easily and then pops it into that top corner. and it's the final kick of the first half. It's 1-0 to Bayern Munich. We've left ourselves with a little bit of work to do here. We have got firepower on the bench. We've got Sen down there. We've got Jean Carlos. We have got Kone, who is now back from injury but not match fit. So we've got options on that bench, but we'd quite like to not need to use too many of them. And I mean, I wouldn't be that upset if we go back to our place 1-0 down. Obviously, it'd be better if we could find an equaliser from somewhere, but it was all about keeping it tight. Let's not lose 2-3, 4-0. Let's just keep it nice and tight and give ourselves something to work with in that second leg. Elliott, with the attempt at a tackle, doesn't really ruin the ball properly, though, and the Bayern player comes away with it, and they're just camping out on the edge of this area. Peralta with the interception, but then once again, it goes straight back into the path of the Bayern player. We're struggling to get a hold of the football here, which is not ideal and not what we're used to either. We're used to being the team that are putting all the pressure on the opposition, not the other way around. Right, lots of tired legs as we hit the 70th minute. Jude Bellingham is going to come on in midfield. We're also going to bring on Filipov. Both of them going to offer us a little bit more in the way of energy. And I think this is the time to bring on Ismail Sen to come on in that Raumdeuter role. When in Germany, why not Raumdeuter, boys and girls? We're going to offer a little bit of encouragement as well. We're not going to do anything crazy like go attacking. Like I say, we don't need to commit men forward and risk conceding a second. But at the same time, we'd quite like an equaliser. Final substitution, Jean Carlos is going to come on for Harvey Elliott. And fingers crossed, someone's got a goal in them from somewhere. Although, I mean, look how tight, look how close it's been. It was that one set piece that has separated the two teams here today. I said, let's keep it tight. We have kept it tight. We've got a little bit of work to do in that second leg, but it's definitely doable as far as I'm concerned. Well, not ideal. We've lost to Newcastle in the in-betweeny game, which, I mean, it's not going to have too much of an impact on how the Premier League ends up, but it does mean we've lost 2 matches on the bounce, which isn't going to do confidence going into this game much good. This is the team we're putting out there for the second leg against Bayern Munich. It's Blanco in goal, back for Peralta, Corgi, Antunes and Malik, Jaeger at the base of the midfield, Bellingham and Jalili ahead of him, Jean Carlos on the left, Borges on the right, Aspas up front. Kone still not, I mean, there's an argument Kone could probably play ahead of Jean Carlos, but Jallo is injured, Pereira is injured. We need to win the football match. I mean, there's a lot of changes there that my director of football thinks we should be making, or my assistant manager, whoever it is. That's never a good sign, but my assistant manager thinks we should be playing Jean Carlos up front in this game, which when we've got Aspas and Sen in the squad and we need goals, playing our backup left winger up front seems like a bad idea, but, you know, who am I? I'm just the manager. Remember, the last time we played Bayern Munich at home, we beat them 5-1 earlier this season. We have got goals against Bayern Munich in us. We just need to find them today because, you know, we've got a destiny to fulfill. You can see Preston versus Tottenham is the other quarter-final that's going on right now. We are looking to set up that Liverpool-Preston dream Champions League final. And obviously, in order for us to do that, we kind of need to get to the Champions League final, which does involve beating this Bayern Munich team that we are still drawing with as we reach a third of the way through the match. Antunes forward to Bellingham, who turns and gives it to Borges. Borges, ball over the top to Peralta, who's got space to pick a pass here if he wants to. But in fact, I think it's a penalty. Peralta, I think, stepped in the penalty area just in time to be clattered. It's borderline whether that's a penalty or not. It's not a penalty. It looked to me like that was a penalty. It's just going to be a free kick for us on the edge of the area. I've said it many times in this situation. I would argue you shouldn't be stopping play then, ref, because we had the ball. Don't stop the play there unless we score from the free kick, which we haven't. The referee's cost us a goal there, I'm going to argue, or at least a goal-scoring opportunity. And now Bellingham has thrown himself at a player and just about got away with not fouling him and not giving the ball away, which I guess is the best he could have hoped for. I would argue it definitely wasn't a tackle. And now, as we approach the final seconds of this first half, of course, this is the point where Bayern scored in the first second. Aspas is in. Can he find the finish? He can't. It's actually an incredible save from the goalkeeper. I thought Aspas had missed, but that's actually a save. And now we've got the chance from the set piece. Giancarlos looking for Aspas, can't find him. Antunes heads it back into the area. Jaeger now nods it down to Giancarlos, who's got one more opportunity to get it into the penalty area, and he didn't. So remains 0-0 on the night, 1-0 to Bayern on aggregate. We still need a goal. Nothing has changed from where we were at this point in the first match. Tottenham are 1-0 up over Preston. I don't actually know what the score was in the first leg in that game, so I'm not sure in the other quarterfinal who's currently making it through, but I guess we don't really need to concern ourselves too much with that. Our concern should be here on our match. And can we just have the ball, please? Goodness me, Bayern Munich are frustrating. Remember, this is the best team against England against the best team in Germany. England and Germany are the two best leagues. So you could argue these are the two best teams in the competition, the two best teams in Europe. So you'd like to think the winner of this match has a very good chance of going on and winning the entire thing. But who knows? Borg has got an opportunity here, and Borg has scored, and it's a huge mistake from Bayern Munich, and that is massive. It was, I mean, their defender has just tried to control the ball, miscontrolled it completely. It bobbles free in the area, and Borg is there to capitalise, and that is a huge moment. It's Marin, the former Preston man, I think. I think that's the guy I had at Preston, who's gifted us the equaliser in this tie. He remembers what side his bread is buttered. And now it is all to play for. 1-0 to us on the night, 1-1 on aggregate. Next goal wins. I mean, it's not strictly how it works, but it's been such a tight tie. You got to think probably next goal wins with half an hour left to play. And of course, the potential of a looming extra time. So Aspas has won the ball back. It's more hesitation with Bayern. Giancarlos is in, and Giancarlos has scored. And it's 2 goals in very quick succession. And that one comes from a very unlikely source. Maybe my assistant manager was right after all. Perhaps that guy should have started up front. Although, to be fair, it's Aspas who does great work winning the ball back there. He gets some stick from me at times, but he's made a goal for us there with some lovely pressing and releases Giancarlos, and that's 2-0, 2 goals in 2 minutes. We have turned this quarterfinal on its head. Meanwhile, Preston have scored twice as well. Tottenham have also got one there, so it's 2-2 in the other quarterfinal that's going on right now, and it is chaos in the northwest of England at the moment. I'm surprised that us and Preston are both playing at the same time on the same night. We're not bringing Ram on to play there. That would be madness. We're going to bring Sen on to play in his usual Raumdeuter role out there. We're going to take off Bellingham. Bellingham is tired, so we can bring Ramon on to play in there. Nice to have him coming on fresh at this stage of the match. And then I think we also bring on Kudimbana to play right back. Normally I'd bring Wilson on in that situation, but I think you go for the guy with more experience. As much as Wilson is homegrown and that's all great and blah, blah. Kudimbana, we spent 60 million on, and he's 28 and he's been here before. He knows what he's doing at this level. Watch him be the guy who throws it all away for us now. Filipov is going to come on as well. I'm just need to calm down, take a breath. Oh, goodness me. I want to get Kone on. I think in order to get Kone on, we can shuffle everything around, get Sen up front. Giancarlos goes onto that side. And Kone, the club captain, returning from injury, just to see us over the finish line. 10 minutes left. Kone is on, and Bayern Munich have a corner. 5 minutes left on the clock now, and Blanco, just so confident, so comfortable, just collects, catches it. None of this punching nonsense. How is that a penalty review? What on earth was that for? I don't even know who's given away the penalty, but Blanco has done it, I mean, twice as part of the same move. Blanco just catches it. When other goalkeepers would maybe push it away, punch it away, Blanco just caught a penalty after potentially being the guy who gave it away. But either way, it doesn't matter because we have picked up the 2-0 win. That is us booking our spot in the semi-finals, as have Preston. They lost 3-2 on the night, but have beaten Tottenham on penalties. So us and Preston both progressing to the semi-final. I don't know, has the semi-final draw happened yet? Right, we're playing Preston in the semi-final. I mean, it's not the dream final. I guess we can set ourselves up to play Barcelona the other team I won the Champions League with. So that works. But tomorrow, it's Liverpool versus Preston. It's a Champions League semi-final. Let's get Stephen Ferguson sacked because they're down in 9th place. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.